Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem YAHAWASHI, Bahashem Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. I just woke up to this, news right here that there was a explosion in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. It says large intentional explosion damages downtown Nashville's buildings. So I'm gonna play this clip right here, man, and we're going to see through the spirit, who they try to pin this terror attack on. That's basically what they're calling it, because it's quote unquote intentional. They're deeming this as an attack, a terror attack. So I'm gonna play this clip here, and we'll examine what's going on.
Good evening and Merry Christmas to you. I'm Ray Quarterpass.
And I'm Lourdes Duarte. Micah is off tonight. We begin with breaking news. Take a look. And those are the pictures we've been following all day. Smoke and fire billowing in downtown Nashville after an explosion that police are calling intentional. Flights were grounded. Thousands lost cell service today. Now the FBI is asking for the public's help in this.
That's right. That explosion left 3 people injured, but it could have been so much worse if not for the quick action of some police officers. And WGN's Jenna Barnes has been covering the investigation all day long. What is the latest, Jenna?
Well, the part of downtown Nashville impacted by this explosion is now under curfew until Sunday, and the community has already raised $300,000 for a reward for anyone with information that leads to the bomber. A church's surveillance camera captured the moment the bomb blast lit up downtown Nashville Christmas morning, damaging more than 40 buildings, causing at least one to collapse.
This morning's attack on our community was intended to create chaos and fear in this season of peace and hope.
Police say their investigation began around 5:30 in the morning when officers responded to reports of gunfire as people who live downtown hid in their homes.
We were petrified. We were sitting in our apartment with the door barricaded, with the lights out, not talking because we were scared to make noise.
During that shots fired investigation,
they heard an RV giving out a message, basically saying that it was going to detonate within a certain time frame.
At that point, Nashville's police chief says the 6 officers near this RV didn't know when or if it would explode, but they started knocking on doors, evacuating people anyway.
These officers didn't care about themselves. They didn't think about that. They cared about the citizens of Nashville.
Directed people away from danger to save lives, even at the time that their own lives would have been in peril. They are heroes.
About an hour after the officers first got to the scene, the bomb went off.
Command to all units are confirmed with PD. This is an explosive device.
3 people were injured, and the police chief says possible human remains were found in the vicinity of the explosion. The RV was parked near an AT&T building, and that blast impacted cell service, 911 systems, and even communications at Nashville's airport, which halted flights.
The spirit of our city cannot be broken. But we're not going to rest until those responsible for this outrageous and cowardly attack are brought to justice.
Part of the police work underway right now is trying to figure out a motive and why the bomber chose Christmas Day. Nashville's police chief says the city had not received any threats leading up to the blast.
Jenna, so many questions left to answer in this. Thank you for the updates.
All right.
So there you go, man. So like the guy just said, so many questions left to answer. And the FBI is trying to figure out why the bomber, whoever the bomber is, chose Christmas as the day to do so. So like I said, we're going to see, through the spirit, all right, what the Lord, has happened, because everything is under the control of Yahawah, Bahashem YAHAWASHI. But we know that this devil, all right, the adversary, does things just like how he did this, the whole thing that happened last year, all right? And they said that happened in Jersey City. They said it was so-called BHI who did that. And now they're trying to figure out who did this. So we're going to see, how this devil tries to spin this terror attack, man. But we know that, as it says written here, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3, it says, but I fear, Salakia, that's not what I wanted. 2 Corinthians 2. 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11, it says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, so we can't let this devil through his media and through his crafty ways, okay, his wiles, all right, his trickery. We're not going to let just because we see this happen, and then they might come out and say, oh, well, we found a manifesto of X, Y, and Z, or, this person who had affiliations to this, and that. Don't allow, we're not going to allow this devil to get an advantage of us, because we know that he ultimately is going to try to demonize this truth, man. Now it could come out where they say that this person had, affiliations with, Al-Qaeda, okay? But understanding that we know ultimately that this word, as YAHAWASHI said, that this word, where we were going to be we were going to be hated by all men for his namesake. Let's pull that out. And a way that this devil is going to try to get us hated by all men is by him doing things like this to make it seem like we are, some terroristic group, all right, some extremist, all right, some evil or violent group, So this is a ploy that these devils use. They could try to instill fear of the gospel, all right, fear of the Israelites in the world, so that the world backs up, or the world supports, the government when they come down with that wrath upon, this truth, all right, just like how they did during the time of ancient Rome, all right, Nero, the emperor during that time. There was a fire that broke out in Rome, and Nero blamed who? The Christians, and that's why there was a great persecution of the Christians, which were Israelites that followed the Messiah, during that time, man. In Rome, there was a great persecution. They were killing men, women, and children during that time. All right. And the government, the Roman government, had the support of the people, because the government pinned that explosion or that fire on Christians. All right. The so-called Christians, aka the Israelites. So this is Mark chapter 13, verse start at verse 10. It says, and the gospel must first be published among all nations. And this gospel has been published among all nations. It says, but when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do ye premeditate. But whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye. For it is not ye that speaketh, but the Holy Spirit. So we're not, premeditating. We're not sitting here thinking about, our defense. Okay, because we know, talking about the true believers and the true disciples, all right, the true, teachers of YAHAWASHI, we know that we are not a violent, group. All right, we know that we do not take matters into our own hands, but we wait upon YAHAWASHI to first rise up to the prey, as it is written in the book of Zephaniah 3:8. All right, we're waiting on our Redeemer, YAHAWASHI, to deliver us from the hand of our enemies. However, this devil is, because he's carnal, all right, and because he knows ultimately that our power comes from the divine, from the Spirit, that he has to now try to take matters into his own hands and come with that carnal and come with that wrath. But in order to first do so, he has to present us as being a threat. Okay, and that's where the demonization comes through. That's why the demonization of being an Israelite and being in this truth is constantly happening. It's seeming like more and more. Now, like I said before, I'm not saying this ultimately, this situation is in fact something that they're going to try to pin on us. But what I'm saying is be aware and be don't marvel if they do that, because that is a part of the of this movie, man. All right, these devils demonizing this truth, and we're going to read it. It says, verse 12, for now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. Verse 13, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so we're going to be hated for the name of YAHAWASHI, man, for this gospel. All right, and how, once again, why are we going to be hated? Through the demonization that this devil puts upon this truth, man, this gospel. But that is a part of the plan, and we know that we got to endure that. We got to endure the persecution. We got to endure the affliction. We got to endure the hate, all right? And some of us is going to have to endure until death, man. We're going to have to endure being put to death, okay? Second, Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, all right, the deceiver, Esau, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful until death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, so the YAHAWASHI is telling his sheep, or he's telling his joint heirs, okay, the ones who have hazarded their lives, that what? We have to even hate our lives into the death, that we got to be faithful of this truth, of him, in YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, even up until death. For at that moment, if we are put to death, understanding that we are receiving a crown of life, everlasting life, man, an incorruptible crown. All right, so, I'll end it there, okay, but, just wanted to, give this a quick news update, understanding the, hey, and even on the flip side, I'll say this, the fact that the Lord had this happen on so-called Christmas Day, and that goes to show you how that the Lord is just bringing the complete mirth and safety, and the calm, because when you on Christmas Day, so-called Christmas Day, these heathens, these people in this world, and even our people that celebrate it, that are in that heathenistic mindset, they're seeing that day as a day of joy, as a day of happiness. But the Lord had this happen, downtown Nashville, where that whole area, okay, didn't have that mindset at that moment. They were in fear. Okay, yeah, certain people, when you read it, when we read an article, I read an article also, people were panicking. People, they left their homes at 4:30 in the morning and went to a local, I think it was called Nissan Stadium, and they had to go there they went there to for shelter. So the Lord is just showing you that, hey, that this world is quickly being upheaved, man. All right, the ways of this world is quickly being destroyed, because as it is written, this whole world lieth in wickedness. All right, so like I said, I ended there. We'll watch to see what comes of this. Just stay watching. Stay prayed up, and understanding that the days of persecution, the days of trouble are at hand. But Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi said that He will deliver us from the same. Okay, so with that, call praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi, Bashim Ruach HaKodesh. Till next time, Shalom.